Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. We've had some pretty crazy leaks, and honestly, I'm pretty surprised at the Don issue 5, So if you guys remember, for the past, actually I feel like his entire signature shoe line, like Donovan Mitchell's shoe line, it's been leaked like 3 years before it actually releases on online with the Adidas catalogs. I don't know if you guys remember those. And it would be literally, there's a picture of it, and then there's text specs, release date, and like how much it's gonna go for, which is kind of insane. I mean, like, I feel like leaks are pretty important, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, like, sometimes companies, brands get mad at me when I do leaks. They're like, oh, like, please take this down. Obviously I take it down, but like, I don't understand why they get so mad, you know what I mean? Because like leaks, it builds a little bit of hype, you know what I mean? And like, if there's a leak video, oh, here's a crappy picture of this, or there's a very small segment of the shoe that you can only see in this picture, it's a new zoom unit or it's a new cushion, oh, like super excited. It builds a little bit of hype, which I feel like is a good thing for the actual shoe and also for the brand. But sometimes they don't like it and they get mad. But they don't do it well in the over at Adidas, because they do it like 2 years before, and we know what the shoe's gonna look like and all that, like the tech, for like a couple years before, or like a year before it comes out, and we're just like, oh, we've been knowing this, you know what I mean? But anyways, so Donovan Mitchell unveiled the Don issue 5 at the All-Star game, or All-Star weekend. And honestly, I kind of like how it looks. It reminds me of the EQTs, which is not a bad thing, right? So as far as the traction goes, we have pretty much herringbone, which I do like, and we have different size herringbones, right? So in the forefoot, like the tip of the forefoot, we have like a smaller herringbone, and then from like where the ball of your foot is to the heel, there's a larger herringbone traction pattern, and then we got two circles, right? So we have a large one where the ball of your foot is, and then on the lateral side we have a smaller one, and then in the middle of the outsole we have Donovan Mitchell's signature, probably with a midfoot shank plate, right? So the traction is looking very good, but as we all know, the traction pattern doesn't really determine the performance of the traction. In my personal experience, it's been mostly the rubber compound, just because, first of all, just different like traction, like outsole colors, and also like translucent versus solid rubber can have different performance, right? Even though it has the same traction pattern, so it has mostly to do with the rubber compound. I feel like it's like 80% rubber compound and then like 20% the actual outsole pattern, right? So we'll have to see on the rubber compound, but the pattern looks pretty damn good. And as far as the cushioning setup goes, we don't know 100% yet, but I've read on some websites that it's going to be light strike, which is weird because light strike doesn't usually look like this. Light strike, they usually give us like a pattern, for example, in like the next levels and stuff like that. But there are some examples where they don't have that pattern, so it might be light strike. If you look anywhere on the midsole or anywhere on the shoe, it doesn't say light strike from what I've seen. So we're not 100% sure yet, but I don't know, it might even be bounced though. It used to be bounced in like the Don issue 1 and 2, if I remember correctly. Even the 3, I think, and then the 3 and 4 had light strike. But also here in the heel, we have a crazy plastic, like external, like not a heel counter, but like cages the heel cushion a good amount, right? And also in the back of the heel, we can see a V, obviously for 5. And as far as the materials go, the materials look kind of you know what I mean? Like it's a mix of, I don't know, like a very crappy synthetic material, like that kind of goes over the entire forefoot and kind of goes where the eyelets are, right? And then there's a circular or oval panel on the lateral side with 3 Adidas stripes going across the material, and also the midsole, which actually looks pretty nice for the design. And also it comes up on the medial side, which looks great. And also it says Adidas Basketball Don issue 5. Don, if you guys didn't know, stands for determination over negativity. And obviously we can see a Spida's logo and the Adidas logo as well. And it's just like a mix of mesh material as well. It just doesn't look very nice for quality, right? I mean, it is a cheaper shoe, right? The Don issue 4 retails for 120 bucks, so it's 120 to 130 bucks depending on the colorway, so it'll probably be around that price as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics. I mean, we have a black and white colorway and this blue colorway as well. And then as far as Adidas basketball shoes are concerned as well, we have a look at Dame's next shoe, which is the Dame 8. It's the freaking Dame 8, but it's the EXT PLY, and it's kind of like the playoff version, you know what I mean? And if you guys didn't know, it released in December 19th of 2021. So it's been more than a year. So we should have the Dame 9. I don't know why they're not releasing the Dame 9. We're getting the same exact freaking shoe with a different upper. But yeah, I guess that's what's happening. You know what I mean? And I guess the overall design's not bad. It kind of actually reminds me of the J-Wall 1. You know, like the back panel with the 3 stripes going down and like that panel. And also there's a midfoot strap. It looks like it's made of rubber. That's cool. And then, it also says Dame Time. You know, there's an eyelet that kind of like goes in the middle of the shoe. And then that's pretty much it. It's still using Bounce Pro foam, which is a little too soft for me, and it's also like not the best court feel. It has a crazy amount of compression, so I didn't feel super responsive when I was playing it. Just in my personal opinion, I like to have a lower ride and also more responsive cushion, but it was still pretty nice, you know what I mean? So as far as the aesthetics go, I feel like, what do you guys think? We have this blue colorway and this black and white colorway. Do you guys think the Dame 8, like the regular Dame 8 looks better, or the EXT? Tell us down in the comment section below. And also we have a leak of the Cosmic Unity 3s, and I don't know, like I feel like there's no design language of the Cosmic Unity line, right? It's just all different, and it's also been like Nike's recycled kind of like earth friendly shoe, which of course is good. But we don't really know the tech. But the tech has been full length zoom strobo for the 1 and the 2. So I'm guessing for the 3 you might have the same. And also the 1 was using crater foam. So maybe they'll use crater foam, but there is a pretty distinct pattern on the actual midsole. And also there is a window on the lateral side, kind of like in the midfoot. And there's like a mesh material over it with some plastic. I wonder what that's for. Is this some kind of new cushion? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? But as far as the aesthetics go, these do not look good in my personal opinion. I do like the material though. The material quality looks pretty good. It reminds you a lot of the 2 with like a thicker type of textile material. But the aesthetics, there's like that small swoosh on the lateral side. Not a huge fan of that. But these 2 angles are the only angles that I found or I've seen and that have been leaked. So there is the Cosmic Unity 3. And last but not least, we got the official release date of the JT1. So we got 4 colorways coming out, right? So first of all, we got the Zoo colorway. It's like a black and white. Well, I mean, basically the first colorway that got leaked. That's releasing April 7th. And then after that, we got this like really dope white and blue colorway that is releasing on April 18th. And then next we got the barbershop colorway, which is releasing in May. And we don't know the exact date, but I feel like this is my favorite colorway. It's black and white. And then the actual like zoom in and the plastic frame is red, so that definitely looks super clean. And then we got the pink lemonade colorway releasing June 20th, and we actually saw Jason Tatum hooping in them. So we have an on-foot look, and these look freaking dope, guys. I don't know what it is. You remember when the Jordan 34 and the 35 came out, and also the 36, and it had the Eclipse plate? The Eclipse plate just looks super dope in my personal opinion. It kind of looks like that. And they do have like a plastic frame, right? And what they were trying to do with that is, if you guys didn't know, like the rubber outsole and also the midsole take up most of the weight in a basketball, or just most shoes, right? So if you take a lot, like a very big chunk of that out, especially where the midfoot is, because you don't really need like the foam there, especially if you have like the frame, then you reduce a lot of the weight. So the JT1 is supposed to be super duper light, and also it's using a mesh material that looks super thin. So I'm guessing the shoe is going to be very, very light. As far as the foam goes, we don't know what they're using. There hasn't been any like released tech on the JT1 yet, but it has been officially unveiled, right? But if we're looking at the actual foam, we can see a good amount of compression marks with the one that Jason Tatum is wearing. So I'm guessing maybe Formula 23 foam, maybe React, you know, because there is a little bit of a pattern on there. Hopefully it's not just regular Phylon, but at least it's exposed, you know what I mean? It's not super cage. It doesn't look like in the heel. And then of course in the forefoot, like look at how crazy that looks. It's basically suspended. It's not in the Eclipse plate. The Eclipse plate is just in the midfoot, right? But here in the JT1, it looks like crazy, you know, the midfoot and also the forefoot. It looks like there's like nothing, you know what I mean? And then obviously we have that crazy zoom unit. I'm very curious as to how that's gonna work, right? So we have that frame, right? And then we can see the actual material, right? So maybe they have the material, right? And then the plastic frame and then the zoom unit, because you can see the zoom unit like exposed on the bottom of the shoe, right? And also we can see like a plastic piece in the middle of the outsole, which is, I don't know. I'm very, very curious how they implemented this cushioning setup. They're saying it's like unlock zoom, or it feels like unlock zoom. So yeah, I'm really, really curious what the 4-foot zoom setup is going to be. I mean, obviously it's just 4-foot zoom meter, but I'm curious as to how they like layered it and how they kind of put it together with the frame, right? And obviously we've seen the outsole. We have in this colorway, in the zoom color, we have a translucent pod. We got 2 pods. We have a very interesting pattern. And then the heel, it just looks like, I don't know, guys. Like there's no pattern in the midfoot, which is weird. There's just some very, very thin lines, or just very, very thin grooves. And then the heel, it even looks like it's foam. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it's probably rubber. I don't think it's foam, but that just looks weird. It doesn't look durable at all either. But as far as the price goes, the price is supposed to be $120. So that's very, very cheap, especially for the tech, like the unlock zoom and stuff, and like the frame, you know what I mean? So I like that. I like that price. 120 bucks I feel like is a great price, especially for a first signature shoe, and also the tech. And also I really, really like how this shoe looks. So yeah, what do you guys think of the aesthetics? I think it looks great, especially the on foot pictures. But anyways, that about concludes this video. Tell us what shoes you're most excited for down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.